this is Lance from Lance's Auto Vlog, and I have this 2017 Maserati Grandturismo Sport C that we need to, the customer's already replaced this with a different radio, and so we're basically going to pull this one out and put another one in. So he's got an upgraded version of this now, a new version, and he wants to do the digital climate control. So basically we need to take all this apart, pull this piece out, and then put the new piece in with the new integrated climate control. It's like an Android style radio. So follow along as we take this apart and work from backwards from there. Stay tuned.
Oh, I can't let him take my soul. I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. See, we was cool right before he hit the fence, but he hit the fan when I got him down and pinched. But I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these hoes, cause my last name ain't Kent. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she pays tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah, yeah. I learned my right from wrong on a song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe, that's why I be going ghost. I ain't trying to stay up on that wide road, cause I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no. I can't let him take my soul. Nah, 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 no.
So now I need to drop the glove box down. There's gonna be an Allen. There's gonna be 4, I believe. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm using a 3mm Allen. I'm gonna drop this down from here, and we should be able to get access to the screws that go here. So once again, screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this should drop down. Let me get it down and we'll go from there. So now we got to remove these screws, one, and there's one missing here. Yeah, there's one missing here, one missing here. So there should be 2 screws here. We just got to take these out. Note these are missing. And also this screw here is somehow screwed in where it can't get out. So I gotta figure out how to get that out too. Never use power tools on Allen wrenches in cars if you can avoid it. So with those screws out, we now need to take out these screws here, and there's a screw here, and here, and here, and they're all Allens, just the same size as the ones on top. We'll get those out and go from there. So we wind up taking all the screws out here, and then we pull these side panels out. They need to snap off. They're a little tough right here because they have 3 clips, 1, 2, 3. We took the 4 screws out, and then there's 2 screws underneath here that remove this piece. Now we just basically have to do is remove, there's a screw obviously holding in this piece up here, and once we get that out, we could pull the dash piece off. And we really don't have to unplug anything, we just have to manipulate this panel to get the screws out. So it'll come up, it has enough room and play. And I never really took the screws out of here, physically took them out of the locations they were in. I just basically removed them from the actual locking pin. So it shouldn't be complicated. Once I figure out how to get that screw out, then we can go from there. Stay tuned. So we wind up having to we're gonna take these 2 screws off. We're gonna take the bottom, we took the bottom piece off here, which has an 8mm and 2 small Allens here, and then we can take this off, and then hopefully we should be able to get these little pieces off here on both sides. That way we just slide the dash piece right out, and then we can work without any kind of challenges. Stay tuned. So we got the panel out from here. Basically we had to do is just lift this piece up a little bit. I'm sure it comes out, but you know, we're gonna have to put it back together the way it should be. I'll figure out how that piece snaps out physically. And then like I said, somebody went through the wiring, so what we'll do is, if anything needs to be cleaned up in here, because it's gonna be a new harness that goes in there, I'm assuming. And if it isn't the same harness, I'm just basically gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna clean this wiring up and put the new harness in, and then go from there. Hopefully it'll be painless. We'll see. Now that we got the dash piece out, we're gonna have to swap this screen with its parts over to here, and then we also have to put the AC controller in with a bracket as well. This is a totally different connection. Everything's different than this one, so that's why we had to take it all out, and even had to upgrade the harness for it because it's different. So check out the video. So as you can see, I put the screen back together onto the dash panel, and then I just popped it back on. As you can see, I'll show you a video on how this thing works. It's a company, I'm not sure who makes this brand, but the part, he bought it from Unicar, or I should say, I'll show you it because I can't even say it. That's the company he bought it from. So I'm gonna put all these screws back in, get this thing operational. The thing has wireless CarPlay, so that's kind of unusual. I thought it was pretty cool. So let me get the dash put back on, get all the parts put back on, and then I'll walk you through on what I figured out about the screen and how it works. Some of the connectors are a little tricky to put on because they don't lock in right away. You gotta kind of push and snap them. And the harnesses are pretty short, so you gotta be wary of when you're doing that. You gotta put that back on, snap them on, make sure they're fully back on, because if they don't, you won't get any audio. Because the actual power plug is pretty solid, but the other white plugs are kind of tricky. Not that they don't come off, but once you plug them in, you got to push it, make sure they're locked in, and then you can see me put it together. So as you can see, all this stuff came off, all the screws down here came off, so I got to put everything back together, and then I'll show you a final video of the car assembled and walk you through what the screen does for you Maserati people. So we have this Maserati all back together. As you can see, it's got the U-Car touchscreen, so you have your basic setup here. So you have your I think this customer has it basically for the Andriod Auto on the radio, because it has everything built into it. So you got your radio here, you turn your stations and get all that stuff through there. Your home button's here. You got music, which if you have built-in music, you can play the built-in music. And then you got your Bluetooth, so you got Bluetooth streaming. My phone's paired up with it. And then you got video, which this has a built-in video player in it. And then you got here, you have your aux, which is your front camera. He has a front camera. And then you have your reverse camera, which was already installed. And then you have, this thing also does Apple CarPlay, which I don't know how to get to it, but it does that as well, because I mean I was playing it earlier. So I think if you go here, let's see if you go. Let's see if you tap there. No, that's just music there. So let's go here. That launches the maps. You do a drop down here. I'll get you back to the home screen. Let's see. Must be somebody getting close to the parking sensors. One of the best is tail. Yep, that launches your CarPlay right there, so you can get into your CarPlay features. So if you have if you have an Apple phone, it'll give you the CarPlay. And then we got the air conditioning controller, which has basically created a touchscreen now versus the analog one you had before. And you got your emergency blinkers, your lock, unlock, AC. And then you're all set. It's a wrap.